For the first 2 decades of his life, George Washington celebrated his birthday on February 11th. It is the day, after all, that he was born, in 1731. But the date of his birthday moved in 1752. That's when British Parliament adopted the newer Gregorian calendar. It shifted Washington's date of birth from February 11th to February 22nd. And in the years that followed, Washington's legend grew. He led the Continental Army during the American Revolutionary War. He served 2 terms as the fledgling country's first president. For that and more, Washington was routinely celebrated around the country. But we can't talk about his accomplishments without mentioning his not-so-noble behaviors. Washington owned slaves on his Mount Vernon plantation. More on that another day. Following his death in 1799, Americans celebrated Washington's February 22nd birthday informally for decades. In 1879, it became a federal holiday. Congress officially designated the 22nd day of the second month of the year a holiday for all federal workers. And every year since 1896, the U.S. Senate selects a member to read Washington's farewell address. It happens around February 22nd. The name President's Day was proposed to replace Washington's birthday in 1951, but it didn't happen then and has not changed since. Then, in 1968, Congress passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act. It designated certain holidays like Washington's birthday, Labor Day, and Memorial Day to be observed on Mondays. The reason? To give federal employees more 3-day weekends. The thinking was it would be good for business and the economy. The law took effect in 1971, and oh boy, did the deals start flying for cars, mattresses, and appliances. Okay, maybe not really. The new law combined Washington and Lincoln's birthday observances and moved them to the 3rd Monday in February. Because of that, we've not actually celebrated Washington's birthday on his real birthday in more than 50 years. The rise of the term President's Day began thanks to advertising campaigns in the 1980s. They celebrated the office of the presidency rather than just Washington or Lincoln. And that brings us to today, where the only drama surrounding all of this is in the area of punctuation marks. The whole focus is on that word, presidents. Is there no apostrophe? Does it go between the T and the S? Does it go after the S? The answer? Kinda depends. The Associated Press says no apostrophe, but more than a dozen states use the singular possessive, putting it between the T and the S, including the state of Oregon. Many others use the plural possessive, putting it after the S, including the state of Washington. That reflects that the holiday is meant to honor George Washington and Lincoln. But that apostrophe drama matters not to the federal government. Check out the federal law books, Title V, Part 3, Subpart E, Chapter 61, Subchapter 1, Code 6103. There's no such thing as President's Day. It's just Washington's birthday.
I could listen to Pat just read through law citations all day long. When we went looking through the Oregon Historical Society's online collection for anything George Washington related, considering the holiday, we stumbled on this piece that many of you will recognize, a Purple Heart. It features the bronze-toned bust of Washington. This Purple Heart was given to an Oregonian named Ross Reed in 1932 after he evaded machine gun fire to save a comrade entangled in barbed wire during World War I. Now, for any history buffs here, those years don't quite line up. World War I and 1932, of course, but there's a reason. Washington is prominently featured on the Purple Heart because he created the foundation for the military award all the way back in 1782. Back then, it was called the Badge of Military Merit, meant to recognize heroic acts by soldiers during the Revolutionary War. This is one of those patches. It would have originally been purple cloth with the word merit stitched across the front. No one knows how many soldiers actually received the Badge of Military Merit, but it could be as few as 3. The book with recipients' names has been lost for more than 200 years. After the Revolutionary War, Washington's order that created the award lapsed. The Purple Heart was not revived until 1932 on Washington's 200th birthday. It was made retroactive, meaning World War I veterans who earned certain awards could apply for the Purple Heart. And that's why Ross Reed waited well over a decade following his service in World War I to be honored with his Purple Heart.